Well, for us, how it started, my brother and I were actually in California racing a motocross race. Right when we finished the race, we started getting some news that things were getting really hairy and really windy. We didn't quite realize how scary it was until we got one phone call that Lahaina was on fire, and then the phone call cut out. From there, we got really scared. We had one text come in 2 hours later telling us that the entire town was burning down. And it's almost, I'd like to think that it was a godsend that we weren't there, because we expected worst case scenario, which it really was. And we were able to use our connections as surfers and fishermen to be able to call almost everyone we knew on Molokai, Oahu, Big Island, Kauai, and just really let everybody know that, hey, we may need some help. We haven't pulled the trigger yet, but right when we land, we're gonna let you know whether we really do need support or not. And it was something that news was not getting out. There was absolutely no word from the mayor for over 24 hours at all. So it was something that we didn't even know what was going on. I didn't even know if my family was alive or not. We have 4 generations here. So right when we got to Maui, and we were able to hear firsthand how bad it was, on the other side of the island, were able to make those calls. Zane, my brother, was able to make those calls to all these fishermen and surfers from around Hawaii to be able to say, hey, this is worse than we're even thinking it was, and we need all the support we can possibly get.
We just went to the airport with all the supply we thought would be necessary, VHF radios, MREs, all kind of emergency things, and we got to the airport, and there's all kinds of other families trying to get home to their family in Maui. And one of the ladies working behind the desk recognized us and said, hey, you guys are from Lahaina, yeah? You trying to get home to your family? And we're like, yeah, we don't know what's going on. We're just trying to get home. And she put us on the flight, and she said, hey, don't tell anybody, but we're gonna get you on this flight. And Maddie and I were really confused, because we step onto the plane, and the plane's pretty much empty. It only has news crews on it, CBS, NBC, Fox, all these different news crews. And we're like, how is it that there's families trying to get home to see if theirs are alive, and this plane's empty with news crews?
The roads were closed. There's no way into Lahaina. Lahaina is completely cut off like its own island.
No cell service, no road access in or out. Literally the only way was by boat. And where we grew up in Kahana is a fishing village, and there's a small boat ramp there. The county's been trying to shut down for decades, and thankfully they haven't, because it was our lifeline for all of our friends, all of our family, and our community. We brought in over 100,000 pounds of supply to that small little boat ramp, and these were humble fishermen from neighboring islands that literally watched our town burned all night, and they were there the next morning with supply without a call asking for help. They knew what was going on. They were there to try and be there for us, and it just kind of continued snowballing from there. We started assembling VHF radios from our fishing boats and making stationary communication hubs that we were distributing to our family-run shelters, because there was no one stepping in to help us. For over a week, it was just us, no ins, no outs, no phone service. It was insane what our little community of our friends, our classmates, our neighborhood was able to overcome. There's a very small network of people that have access to that private boat ramp. This isn't a public or county-run ramp. And so with our VHF communication that was set into place as boat and ocean people, we used VHFs. We were able to distribute them by hand and be able to coordinate a channel that would be public for us to communicate supply distribution, and as well ship-to-ship communication, ship-to-port. We were able to have small shuttle boats, even paddle boarders, surfers on boards, small boats, meet them at the channel, and the big boats would come and moor outside in the sand, and our small shuttle boats would unload supply, bringing things in to our 100+ people chain, just passing stuff from the water to our supply hub across the lower road. And it's pretty insane. We're over a month now since the day of the fires, and there's these highs and lows that we know as ocean people. We're trained to be able to make decisions under pressure and to adapt in an environment that's constantly changing. And You know, I think we're right now in this high point of comfort, you know, and all the people that were displaced for the most part have been opened and welcomed into the hotels for a short period of time, but they're going to be displaced again come October.
There is not enough housing here, and some action needs to be taken now for housing and for schooling, because our kids do not have schools to go to right now. There's over 2,000 children that were in the Department of Education that are right now either not in school or had to change and go out of state or find a private school to get into. And right now, everything's maxed out. One thing that I know on the outside with all these missing children that people are saying, let me tell you what, a lot of people died. A lot of people died, all right? This is fucking horrible. But the 2,000 missing children, I feel that the rumor started from the Department of Education releasing that there are 2,000 kids that are not back in the Department of Education right now. They released that there's over 2,000 unaccounted for children, and people took that the wrong way. People took that as though there's 2,000 kids that aren't found or something, and I really do think that that statement right there that they made about 2,000 kids not re-enrolling in school or that are out of school is what really made all these rumors jump out about 2,000 kids being taken in submarines or all these other things, you know, which I'm sorry, we don't have time for those sort of things. We're just trying to get our community going. It's bullshit. I mean, we know everybody in this, I don't want to say everybody, we knew most people in this community, we'd all be talking about it.